Welcome to The Leader's Edge, where we celebrate leadership and shine a light on the visionary leaders shaping the future. I'm HR Huntsman, founder of The Leader's Edge, creator of the Leader's Edge Performance Engine and Leader's Edge University. And I am thrilled to bring you stories from leaders who are making a difference around the world. In each episode, we champion the innovative strategies, courageous decisions, and inspiring journeys of those who lead with purpose and passion. So whether you're looking to refine your leadership skills or you simply want to be inspired, my friend, you are in the right place. Today's guest is a very impressive leader and team builder. As president of field operations for Ramjack, Chris McKinney brings a wealth of experience and a proven track record of leadership across multiple industries. His diverse career path has equipped him with invaluable skills in operations, team development, and strategic planning, all which contribute to his success in driving operational excellence. Chris began his career in the Army National Guard, where he developed discipline, teamwork, and strategic thinking, skills that seamlessly transitioned into his 15-year tenure with Walmart. Starting from an entry-level role and working his way up to management, he gained firsthand experience in leadership and large-scale operations. As a district manager, he oversaw complex business functions while maintaining a strong focus on building on people and team efficiency. His expertise in customer-centric business practices expanded through his leadership roles as a general manager for Seminole Gaming Enterprise, district manager at Brahms, and an independent business owner and wellness coach. These experiences further honed his ability to drive growth, optimize operations, and build high-performing teams. In 2024, Chris joined Ramjack as president of field operations, where he is committed to fostering innovation, empowering teams, and driving the company's continued growth. His leadership is rooted in a passion for people, purpose-driven strategies, and operational excellence. Get ready for an inspiring talk with my guest, Chris McKinney. Chris, thank you so much for being on the podcast. I've been looking forward to this conversation for a while now. I can't wait to dive in. Thank you for taking your time.
Yeah, no, thank you. Glad to be here.
So, your background is wide and varied, from Walmart to wellness coach to other ventures. Tell us the story how you got into leadership.
Oh gosh, it starts back in high school, being in sports and leading teams. You realize if you learn anything from sports, it's how important each role is on a team. And basketball was my sport.
Is that your sport? Okay.
Yeah, everybody has a role to play, and you carry that and you move on as you move into professional life. And I played a little bit of college basketball, not much. Got out and went into the military.
Okay.
And you take all of your leadership experience at that point and it goes into hyperdrive. You go through boot camp and you come out and you start leading teams in the military. And I fell in love with it from a leadership standpoint. But where I really took off in leadership was I started working part-time at Walmart. Even though I was full-time in the military, I worked part-time at Walmart.
Wow.
And I had a store manager that just really latched onto me. And what's unique about that story is I was just helping out at Walmart for free because I had friends there.
Is that right?
And we were going to go play basketball, do different things, and they couldn't leave until they were done with certain aspects of their job. So I'm just helping them out for free, just getting my friends out on time. And I was latched onto by a manager that just said, hey, you do good work. Why don't we pay you to be here? So that started my Walmart career pretty much.
Interesting.
I was able to switch places from full-time National Guard to Walmart full-time.
Okay.
And just started moving up through the ranks there. I'll never forget one of the most important lessons I had there as I progressed from an hourly supervisor to a salary manager. I was leaving that store, and that store manager, even though he latched onto me, he didn't say a lot. His actions really spoke.
Okay.
And he could look at something and everybody would be wondering, what is he looking at? How can I fix it? He's not happy with it. How do we make this better? And he asked me when I was leaving, he said, do you like the way I run my store? And I said, yes, sir, I do. It's great. And he goes, just remember, it took me over 40 years to get to where I'm at today.
Wow.
And you can't walk into a store and do what I'm doing right now. You've got to build it. You've got to build your style. You've got to build how you lead people.
Okay.
And why it's important to lead people. So I think early on, if you look at the income in the military, he showed me his income in Walmart. I'm young, I'm impressionable, and I'm like, wow, I can do that. That's cool. But at some point, you start to realize, how do I impact other people like I was impacted?
Did he say that because he thought you had store manager material? Was he
Yeah.
prepping you for that?
Yeah,
Is that what he was really
prepping
doing?
me for it.
Okay.
Here I am.
saw that in you.
Yeah, I'm hourly, and he had me bring my military pay scale to work and showed me where he was versus military pay
So
scale.
he was selling you on the Walmart career.
He was selling me from.
Okay.
Yeah.
By the way,
Yeah.
thank you for serving. I'm an Air Force veteran myself.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
Army.
Yeah,
Appreciate
Army Guard,
that.
yep.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, so I guess for me, that was the latch-on moment for me is how do you help other people achieve that? And I think some people in leadership, we realize that at some point. All of us realize it at some point. I think I was fortunate to realize it really early and what it meant to help other people improve their life financially, their leadership skills.
Fabulous.
And move up. So I did that through Walmart, and I did that just shy of 15 years.
Right.
And that was from an hourly all the way up to a senior director, district manager,
From free,
market manager.
actually. You
Yeah,
began for free.
From free, yeah, from free to senior
manager.
director with the company. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
In 15 years.
Yep.
Impressive.
Yep. At the time, I think I was running the second highest volume district for Walmart as a rookie market manager.
Okay.
Yeah.
What were you good at? I love your heart about wanting people to succeed. I think that's great leadership. Anything else? Boots on the ground stuff. What were you good at?
Yeah, I think it's having extremely high expectations of everyone.
Okay.
I think that's the foundation, probably, the expectations. But more importantly, I think it's getting people to understand why you have those expectations.
Okay.
I think it's easy to give a bunch of direction and walk away.
Sure.
The hard part is sticking it out, explaining why you're giving the direction, what you're doing, where is it going. Because as soon as you get buy-in from the people you're leading versus just telling them what to do, it's a game changer because you start to create little models of replication, right? What you're doing at a high level starts to be replicated as it goes down through, and each individual leads their group just like that.
Yeah.
So high expectations, getting them to understand the why, and getting them to understand that it's about them and their families and what they can do to improve their personal life as well as their leadership style.
How do you do this? We preach this everywhere we go. How do you take the time to get to know them, ask about their family, hopes, dreams, and fears? Like, how does that actually look in your leadership cadence?
I think it's a little bit different with everybody. Some people are very open, and you find out a lot about them really quick.
Okay.
One, I guess maybe it's a tactic. I don't know. I'm just very open myself.
Okay.
So you get to know me really fast. My likes, my dislikes,
Gotcha.
personal hobbies, my wife's name, my dog's name, all of those things. You find out about those things really quick with me because maybe it's disarming. I don't know. You just want them to get to know you and say that it's okay to have these conversations.
Are these water cooler conversations, or is this formal coaching, monthly coaching meetings, one-to-ones?
Again, different for everyone, but I would say it's pretty routine, especially coming into a new business. It's going to be, hey, here's my expectations, standards in a broad group, and then it gets more granular from there.
Right,
And it's, hey, let's go to lunch, and I want to hear about you. I want the lunch to be about you.
Okay.
Some other tactics I've used is I call them 15-minute drills where I walk into a new business and everybody, whether you're sweeping floors and cleaning bathrooms or you're top of the food chain, everybody has to circle through, and it's a 15-minute conversation, and it's nothing but, hey, tell me about yourself, tell me about your family, what are your likes, dislikes, what do you like about the business, not like about the business.
Amazing. How often do you do these 15-minute drills?
I would say probably throughout history. I haven't done, it's interesting you ask, I haven't done it at Ramjack at all.
Okay.
And maybe
we're going to get to Ramjack in a second.
Yeah, and maybe it's because of scale.
Okay.
But probably it's a quarterly thing for me.
Okay.
To get, and especially in a new person, someone new comes in, it's immediate. Like they have to come into my office and have a chat with me.
No matter where they are in the
it doesn't matter where they are. Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay.
And then the beautiful part of that is you get to start talking to their leaders and asking them questions about people who work for them, and they don't know the answers. It gets uncomfortable, right?
No, crap.
Then, again, it breeds that replication where they want to go down and they want to ask the same questions, and it breeds and grows as you go.
Yeah, very good. In addition to Walmart and the Army, you've done fast food, wellness coach, and we're going to get to Ramjack in a second. What did you learn from each of those industries that kind of shaped your leadership philosophy and style?
Yeah, when I left Walmart and to go into health and wellness, my wife had become really successful in health and wellness.
Okay.
We actually had started a business, and she was helping a business partner and just got really good at it. I left Walmart to help in that industry. I learned a lot about health, and I learned a lot about nutrition. I learned a lot about exercise, and I learned a lot about going from really large scale to 2 or 3 people talking to people about health and wellness. Nobody to delegate to. My wife made it very clear really quick that I couldn't delegate to her. So it was interesting. The beautiful thing about that was relationships.
Okay.
And very much like you see in television, bar talk, that kind of stuff, it was that, except it was shakes and teas and things like that. But it was people telling you about their lives. And I found myself almost in a consulting situation daily, where it was helping people solve problems in business or personal life, and that became distracting to me from the business standpoint. My wife is very diligent; she's working, and I'm just chatting with people. And that led to another career. That led to the gaming industry, coaching and consulting of how I would handle certain things within that industry. And pretty soon they were offering me a job, and it was a no at first, and then a no again, and then it got more interesting as the conversations went on. So I dove into it. But I think that fast food, what I learned from all of it is that people crave to be a part of something.
That's right.
And you look at a fast food industry, for example, you've got a lot of entry-level people, and they're just there for what they call a temporary job, but they don't know what the company can offer them. And I guess I learned that early on at Walmart. Walmart, you see a cashier and you see somebody stocking shelves. You don't realize what the actual potential is within those organizations.
Right.
So I think for me it was unlocking that potential. I think my average, so I ran 7 stores in the fast food industry, and my average age of store managers inside of about 6 months was 20 to 21 years old.
Oh my goodness.
And making fantastic income. But they didn't know that. They didn't know what it was. They didn't know what the income was. When you tell somebody this is what your career path could be in this organization if you'll do it, and if you'll listen and you'll learn in these different steps and levels, this is what you could make, and it's eye-opening to them. They don't know because it's concealed. People don't talk about those things.
Okay.
I talk about everything.
Good.
I don't believe in concealing anything that doesn't have to be concealed. I want everybody to know what the potential is that you can have with inside of an organization.
Beautiful.
I learned that stick with what you know immediately. I walk into the restaurant industry, and I don't know the restaurant industry, but I know what clean looks like. And I know how to stand behind a counter and act as a customer would, and just look at the environment. Able to pull those people out and make them stand behind a register, not to check someone out, but to stand as a customer and just do a 5-minute drill of just standing there and what do you see that you could correct.
Very good.
And it's so eye-opening to people.
Sure. How'd you get to Ramjack? Talk to us about that transition. What did they see in you? How'd you connect with them?
So I was in the restaurant industry. I was craving to go back to that big time, 3,000 people, senior director kind of role, and was looking at going back to Walmart. And I had started conversations with someone I knew inside of Ramjack, and he was at a lower level position than he is today. And he was new to a lot of that leadership stuff. He had done teaching and training and coaching, so very good with people, but just overall leadership aspects of a business. So I started talking with him and actually interviewed with Ramjack in 2018. And I thought I was going to work for him then, and it didn't work out at that time. They had some leadership transitions they were going through. Ended up going back to Walmart. But from 2018 until February of 23, I kept contact with Ramjack. And I think a good learning from that is I knew it was an organization that I was interested in, and I never closed the door. I kept relations, kept talking to them, kept wanting to be a part of the business. And it really helped me, of course, once I did jump on board, because here I am 4 or 5 years of talking about the business with people before I finally came on board.
So here you are, another new industry, don't know much about it, but a lot of what you've learned is transferable.
Oh, yeah.
So
I would say almost all of it.
Tell me about the learning curve with the industry and how much of everything you've learned is you're just applying at Ramjack.
Okay. Like I said, knowing a lot of the foundational stuff before I got there was helpful, but jumping in, and I would say Ramjack, probably almost all of the growth is from internal. So they don't really hire a lot of people outside, especially at the level that they hired me in.
Okay.
What was transferable immediately was the customer. I've always dealt with the customer.
Walmart, hamburgers,
Walmart, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
A customer is a customer.
Customer's a customer, that's right. That's
the difference is now we're helping them protect the biggest investment that most people have, and that's their home and property. So the customer part of it and how to treat them, how to interact with them, that was obviously transferable. But the leadership. I spoke about the restaurant business and getting people to understand the potential they could unlock within the organization. I think it's the same with Ramjack.
Sure.
It's people that have been in that industry for 10 years, for 20 years, for 5 years.
Yep.
And it was just the job that they have, and they come to work and they do the same thing. And they have an inkling of a desire that they want to do something else, but they don't know what that is. So getting people to unlock what I see in them and what they can go do, is there anything greater?
There's not anything greater. And just like you said, customers are customers and how to treat them. It doesn't matter if it's hamburgers or homes, or the same is true with team members.
Yeah.
Team members are team members. They want to be seen and heard and valued and respected. And it sounds like that you've transferred that to Ramjack as well.
Yeah.
And share with my audience exactly what Ramjack does.
Ramjack has been in the foundation repair business since the mid-'80s. We have helical and driven steel piles. That's our main core. We do some ancillary stuff, foam and different aspects of foundation repair, but we're mainly a driven pile or a helical pile installation company. Now, that's what I run. I run the customer-facing portion of that.
I see.
The entity itself, we have dealer network, similar to a franchise setup nationwide.
Okay.
But right there in Latta, just outside of Ada, Oklahoma, we manufacture steel piles. We manufacture brackets. We manufacture everything you need to do foundation repair in the field, and we distribute that as a network to all of our dealers.
Yeah.
My situation is unique because I work at the corporate office and the customer-facing service part of our business.
Gotcha.
We've always had a little bit of that with Texas, but we recently acquired back Oklahoma, and we have Arkansas. We affectionately call it the Gregory Group after the founder and owner of the company, because he owns all of those entities equally. That's what we do, is manufacture, distribute, wholesale. And my part of it is the customer-facing installation of jobs.
And you have a team of about 100, is that correct?
Yeah, just shy of 100 people on the team.
Okay. I was talking to two of your team members earlier, and they were sharing with me, because I always want to know about leaders. Like, we care deeply about how leaders build teams, and I heard things like he's great at mentorship, he sees our value, he's a great listener. What else would your team say about you, do you think, that Chris is really good at this, or he makes me feel this way?
I think inclusion in, like I stated earlier, inclusion in what we're doing. When we break a P&L down, we had people that had never seen a P&L. Now they see the P&L from the top to the bottom, and they understand every aspect of the P&L. They know where all the money is coming in and all the money is going out.
At every level in the organization?
Yes. Right now, I've taught my direct reports. And the progression of that is going to be the entire organization.
Very good. This is so powerful.
So right now, we've recently redid our org chart for Texas, Oklahoma part of the business. So we've got directors, we've got senior managers. So right now, all the way down through the managers and all of our project managers, which are our salesmen, they all have full understanding of the P&L.
This is impressive and rare, by the way.
Yeah, it's
good for you.
Yeah, those are the things that if you let them out in the open, you build a team of people that are looking at the expenses the way you do.
That's right.
Once you do that, you don't have to worry about expenses anymore. Because they see what goes out, and they're like, we've got to change this. And it inspires ideas. I would say the team would tell you that I am good at listening to ideas and what they want to do, where they want to be, how they see the company.
So transparency, inclusion, active listening, it sounds like.
Yes. Yeah. And then the org chart was new for them. And I know that sounds crazy, and it might make us sound like a small company. The org chart and what it means, and if you think about field operations in a service company and having that org chart, and then how does that org chart play out with a corporate org chart? How does a director in my organization deal with the senior director in manufacturing? What respect level is held in that conversation? Or am I talking to an exact peer?
Yeah.
And then peers within our organization itself, that they would tell you that, and maybe they don't know that I do it intentionally, but they would tell you that I don't solve a lot of problems from peer to peer, because I want them to understand how important it is for them to work through those problems.
Yeah,
and
we call that creative conflicts.
Yeah. Creative
Intentionally-
conflicts. I like it.
Intentionally creating that conflict of problem solving. I love it, Chris.
Yeah.
Very good. Tell me about a fairly large organization, 100 people just under you.
Yeah.
How do you consistently get clarity across all these departmental leaders? How do you make sure the communication is clear from one stage to another? What boots on the ground, like nitty gritty, how do you make sure that happens?
Yeah, I think it comes down to setting a tone with how we communicate. Something that I implemented immediately, because I took over Oklahoma first, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and then Texas, but something I implemented immediately was a standard of communication, like a Monday morning Zoom call, for example. You're the in-person or Zoom, and it's all of my direct reports, and it's tell me about what's important to you right now in the business. What are you doing this week? What does next week look like? I need to know where you're going to be, what you're going to be doing, why is it important? And they each get their allotted time. And something that's new for them, too, is they have to tell me how long they're going to talk. And my executive assistant handles all of that, and she gets them all on a calendar. And it's, hey, you've got 20 minutes, you've got 10 minutes. Do we need to extend time today, et cetera?
Yeah.
So there's that conversation. And then the company has something that they have done, and we've started making refinements to it, is every single job we do is reviewed at the start of the week also.
Wow.
And then we recap at the end of the week.
Okay.
So that same group of people that I talked to recaps at the end of the week.
Wow.
Did the jobs go well? What went well? What didn't go well?
Okay.
How do we fix those?
Yeah.
And then it's a repeated cycle, week in and week out. So every job reviewed, every job highlighted, and that meeting includes our production teams that put stuff in the ground, as well as project managers that sold the jobs, so that they can see the work that's going to be done. And do we need to refine that? Did we sell it right? Did we not sell it right? What were some obstacles we didn't foresee, et cetera?
I'm curious about something with you as you come across, and as you've talked, you're easy spoken, you're soft spoken, you're very kind. You can see that. You talk about seeing value in people and mentoring them. How do you combine the accountability necessary for high performance and the support of people and their value? Like, how do you? That's a beautiful tightrope to walk. How do you walk that tightrope?
It is, but I do it in the same tone I'm having this conversation
Is that right?
right now. Yeah. I don't. I think when you create an openness and you get to know people, you know where they want to be in an organization, hopes, dreams, aspirations. There becomes almost this point of they don't want to disappoint you, and you don't want to disappoint them.
That's right.
And when there's that accountability that goes both ways, that carves a lot of that stuff out.
It does.
Just not wanting to disappoint each other. I don't want to disappoint them as a leader.
Right.
They don't want to disappoint me. So I think that fixes a huge majority. But just being direct. This didn't go well. Why did it not go well? And why are we not going to do it again? And make them solve through it. So make them understand what they did wrong, when did it go wrong, and how do we fix it. Recently, I talked a lot. We had our annual Christmas party, and I had my first Christmas party with the Texas team. And we made it very clear that failure is an option here, that we actually encourage failure. And the only bad failure is repeating the same failure over and over again, right? But we want you to try. We want you to throw things on the wall. Do they stick? Does it work? Do we need to change something, modify, pivot?
Yeah.
As long as we're moving forward and we're pivoting when necessary and we're learning from failures, it creates an environment of just let's go try it, let's go do it. And we've got support from the leadership to go do these things. So it really, when it comes to accountability and it comes to having to change something, it really just changes the dynamic. When they know that I don't get mad about failure, I'm just going to get mad if you do it twice. And then
we call that freedom to fail. John Maxwell calls it failing forward.
Yes, failing forward,
right.
Failing fast.
Yeah.
I love all those philosophies. And I think everybody, it creates self-accountability.
Very good.
and self-learning.
The culture you grew up in is not the labor force now. It's a very different culture.
Yes.
How have you had to evolve as a leader with millennials, with Gen Z? They require a different kind of leadership.
Yeah, I don't honestly know where I read it, but I remember I got big for a while into studying generational things. And you look at the greatest society and what they did, the greatest generation, and what they did, what they were able to accomplish. And then you look at, we fast forward to boomers, and I'm in a generation where I'm working directly for boomers, and I remember them not understanding millennials. And I read somewhere that Generation X was what they called the bridge gap.
I agree. I'm Gen X myself.
Yeah, we understood the integration of technology. We didn't grow up with it. And we understood how to more directly deal with that millennial generation.
Yep.
So I think I've used that as a formula for going forward, where when I don't understand the newest generation, I know I have somebody in my organization that does.
Okay.
So I reach out to a different generation than myself, and I'm like, hey, help me understand this, explain this to me. And if you're building an organization right anyways, there's an age progression and a generation progression.
Of course.
Where you have middle management that is in that generation that you need to help bridge that gap. So I think that's helpful. But also I think, again, getting to know your team and letting them, get to know you, I think it helps a lot with that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think it cures a lot of diseases within an organization. But you're right. It's that generation, the newest generation that's in the workforce today, and then we all know what COVID did.
Mm-hmm.
And it created a society of, I don't necessarily have to be here. I can do something else.
Yeah.
So why do they want to be here? That's the question. How do I get them to want to be here and want to be a part of the organization? And I think, again, it's that open leadership style and getting them to understand, hey, there's more for you tomorrow if you do this today. And how do we grow an entire organization and create a future for you? And that future might look different than it is today.
I actually think that we have a lot that we can learn from the millennials and Gen Z. I think we do. They need to be led differently than maybe you and I were led, but that's on us as leaders to evolve and change, right? So I love your focus of, let's make sure we're giving them a reason to flourish and to stay. If they're leaving us, that's on us. That's not on them. That's on us. They're choosing someplace other than us for a reason. We need to figure out what that reason is.
Yeah. When the industry challenges out there, the changes in wages, and you can work in a fast food restaurant and make $15 an hour. So how do you combat that?
That's right.
In a more labor-intensive workforce?
Right.
How do you do that?
Yeah.
I think going forward, what I look at, and when I look at an organization and growing, is how, in a situation like Ramjack, for example, how do I take all this corporate experience I have and create a structure that is somewhat corporate, but you keep the small feel no matter how big you get.
Very good.
And I think that comes in, again, sharing in the P&L and sharing in profits, and getting everybody to understand that it's to everybody's benefit to be here and everybody's benefit to grow the company.
Very good. One final question, and we're bumping up on our time. You have a lot of leadership experience under your belt. Let's say you're talking to a young lady, a young man just coming right out of college or out of trade schools, or they want to begin their own business, they want to grow in leadership. What advice would you give them at either starting their own company or growing as a leader? I want you to go back to that Walmart person that mentored you and invested in you. Talk to that young person. Best advice, what do you got?
I guess what's their ultimate goal? If you want to work for us, if you want to work in an industry, if you want to work for yourself, what is your goal? What's your reasoning? What's the ultimate thing that you're trying to accomplish? If it's free time, then does working for yourself do that, or are you buying yourself a job, right? Does working within an organization, how do you have the same goals? So I think it's just a question of, again, getting to know the person and what are they trying to accomplish with it. If they want to work for themselves, why? Because they think there's a lot of glory in it. They think there's a lot of freedom in it.
Nope.
Because I've done some of that, and it's the opposite.
It's the opposite.
So I would tell anybody, if someone come to me, for example, and said, I want to start my own business, I would tell them, that's great. I love that you want to do that. And I can offer you the freedom to run your portion of what you're responsible for with total autonomy. And you can see how you like that. And does it fit inside of the organization or does it not?
Yeah.
Because for me, I've been a part of owning a business once, And I would rather own a piece of a business where I can help a bunch of people be successful than running one that I own for myself. And it's a personal preference for everybody.
Sure.
But get to know the person, ask them what their goals are, and then help them to understand how to get to those goals, whether it be through self-employment or working for someone else.
Chris, I have worked with and talked with hundreds of leaders in my 30-plus year career, and it's easy to see why you have flourished everywhere you've gone. The way you treat people, the way you think about leadership, the way you invest in others, it's no wonder you succeed every place that you've chosen. It's an honor to meet with you, and thank you for sharing your experience and ideas with our listeners. You're giving back to leaders around the world, and I appreciate your time.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. It's glad to be here.
That's it for today's show. Thank you for joining us on The Leader's Edge. I hope today's conversation inspired you to lead with even greater purpose and passion. My 3 big takeaways from my conversation with Chris are these. Number 1, great leadership is transferable. Chris succeeded in the Army, Walmart, food services, health and fitness, and now at Ramjack, because every business is people business. Listen, if you're great at developing teams, you're going to always be in demand. Number 2 is servant leadership. Passionately pursuing the good for others is a pathway to great teams. It was eye-opening for me to talk to Chris's team off camera. When he wasn't even around, they extolled this guy on his personal investment in them, their mentorship, his mentorship of them, his care and concern for them. It was obvious they felt cared for and invested in, which leads to number 3, the power of humility. Like many great leaders, Chris was marked by a soft-spoken demeanor and approach. It was easy to see that he truly cares about others, and he's always looking to learn from his team as well as teach them. I found Chris to be among the most influential leaders I've ever spent time with. It was an honor. Listen, if you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review us. I'd love a 5-star review on your favorite podcast platform. Your feedback helps us reach more leaders just like you. And I believe in developing a leadership culture. Leaders change the world. Stay connected with us on social media for behind-the-scenes content, leadership insights, and updates on future episodes. Don't forget to check us out at yourleadersedge.com and follow us at Leaders Edge Podcast on all major platforms. So until next time, keep pushing the boundaries, keep leading at the edge. I'm HR Huntsman, and we'll see you soon.